Recording. Start streaming. Wait for this to say go live. It says go live. And it's slow tonight, Evan. Come on. Start.
I had a little troubles earlier. My computer was slow.
It says live, but I don't know why it's not showing me the chat. Streaming software. Let me see. We might be live and just sitting there staring at each other. Yeah, we're live, Evan.
Okay, I'm opening my book of face.
Okay. I don't know why it's not showing me live, though. Oh, there it finally goes. Wow, Facebook. All right, show 163. Can I hear?
Wahoo.
Okay. Yeah, I know, man. We're going to be up to 200 before long.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome. It is Tuesday, not Monday. It's Tuesday. And, man, Evan was doing some things yesterday. I was kind of doing some things yesterday. So, man, we just said, you know what? People are with their families and probably doing stuff. Let's just hold off until tomorrow. So, if you were waiting last night, we apologize. But we're here now.
Yes, welcome. Yeah, it was a great weekend. Nice weather for the most part.
It wasn't bad. Little rain yesterday down here.
Yeah, you did.
So
it missed us.
Yeah, and it was windy. I really wanted to go fish. I did get to go fishing a little bit Saturday, which made me very happy.
Nice.
And yeah, then the wind. Oh, man. I just want a couple nice days without the wind blowing like 487 miles an hour.
I'm with you. Because of my skin, I don't like the wind. It bugs me.
Yeah.
I like it when it's nice and calm outside and just a slight breeze, but I don't like windiness. And
I've been wanting to get the kayak out, and it's like, man, you don't want to be on a lake on a kayak because you're going to do more rowing, and I don't want to do all that. I'm trying to chill.
You get blown too far from your source place.
Luckily, I fish on small lakes, so I just have to like walk around to the truck. But yeah, I'm not getting on no rivers or anything like that.
Dude, that's called a pond.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't care.
If you can walk around it pretty easy, it's a pond.
That's why I know people like kayak in the ocean and everything. No way. Because, man, you can get caught in them riptides, and they take you the opposite way. And no, you're gone. They ain't finding you in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't like to be. The whole whitewater rapids and all that stuff. No, that's just a little too much to chance. I don't like the idea of being capsized and slammed against rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah, do you know why those are whitewater rapids? It's because there's a bunch of fucking rocks under there.
Yeah, that's not an activity for me. No, thank you.
Nah, especially the older you get. Now, I bungee jumped when I was in my 20s. And
really?
Yeah, I did that a couple times. But I did it off a bridge where, like, one time, if you wanted, you could go down and touch the water. And he'd show you kind of how to do it, how to hold your body a certain way if you didn't want to go as far down. But yeah, I was trying to dip my head. I wanted to dip my head in the water and then shoot back up.
Isn't it? It's a whole lot to do with your body weight and then the rope and then also the temperature of. It's like a big elastic band, and like
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
gets warmer, doesn't it stretch further?
yeah, yeah. But you can also, like, if you kind of ball up, you don't, but if you kind of like point yourself like you're almost diving, you can actually, it'll take you further.
What's it feel like when you hit the most bottom point and all that? Is it like blood just slamming up into your head as you're
Yeah,
hanging by your ankle, kind of?
yeah, because I mean, in the back of your mind, you're kind of thinking, man, this is a rubber band.
Uh-huh.
This is a big ass rubber band. I've seen rubber bands break.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of enters your mind. I mean, not too much, but it does. Now, I wouldn't do it now because I'd be looking at that shit on that bridge and I'd be like, man, that looks a little frayed right there. Nope. 50,
Yeah.
50 plus year old Al is a sissy compared to 20-year-old Al. I will tell you that
Y-
right now.
You're older and wiser and a little more fragile, and
Y-
and you know it.
A lot more
Um,
fragile.
Yeah, Claudia's just said you couldn't pay me to bungee jump. I'm with her 100%. I've jumped out of an airplane. I did the whole static line, parachute thing,
Uh,
and
th-
I've never had the desire to bungee jump at all. No,
oh,
no, no.
I kind of got addicted to it, and now the first time I did it, it wasn't even like a legal thing. It was a guy that my cousin knew in Tennessee came down.
Sounds safe. Totally
Yeah,
safe.
it was like totally. I should not have done that. Oh, we're gonna tie this to the back of the truck, and I did it. I jumped off the truck, the
Oh
bed of
my
the
god.
truck. So, and then the second time was an actual, uh, like a walking bridge, and it
Hmm.
was legit. You know, you had to sign a waiver, and now, now my cousin in Tennessee, he didn't have a waiver for me to sign. I, I don't think I could have sued anybody on that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's my cousin.
Yeah, that was redneck bungee jumping right there. That was a hell of a lot of fun. No, I mean, it was a legit. I do not know where he got that either. I
Man,
probably
that's
should. I probably should have asked a lot of these questions before I used his. It could have been homemade for all I fucking know.
you can ask all the questions you want. You're still going to do it. So, the end result's going to be the same, I
Yeah,
guess. You're going to make it or you're not, but yeah, I'm sure it's a hell of a thrill, just that free fall feeling and all
it
that, but
is. And
yeah, I
it,
can almost see where they'd be addictive, like the base jumpers and all that stuff. And well, I did the parachute thing because I was friends with well, it was a dude that was in my friend's band, and he had like 4,000 jumps, and he's like, come on out and do it. They got training day or beginners day. So I'm like, what the hell? Why not? But I never went back after that.
yeah, yeah. And now I don't know. I like to go 80 on the highway. Is about my claim to fame.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, and that's sometimes. Sometimes if I'm going out of town, I take the short way and only do 55, or take the long way, I should say, and only do
Hmm.
55. I don't like the interstates, and people are in a hurry.
Man, we went to Decatur Saturday, and going to Decatur,
I'm sorry.
on 51, this cop, and I'm running, 65, 70. I think it was on 51. I think it's before we hit Bloomington. This cop blew my doors off. Like, he had to have been doing well over 100, and he had no lights on or anything. Just
Wow.
came out of nowhere, saw my rearview mirror, and then shoo, gone. And I was quite surprised to see that. You think they'd have lights on siren if they're traveling at that kind of
And
speed.
they're supposed to, man. Remember, it wasn't too long ago Decatur had that state cop. that was there was a cop that was shot or something, and there was a bunch of cops rushing to him, and the lady pulled out on that T on the Oakland Street from Harrison, and he
Mm-hmm.
T-boned her. So I think the cops are supposed to go with you know with their lights and sirens on.
Yeah, for him to just be just flying at 100 miles an hour, whatever it was, I felt like I was on the autobahn. Like, I mean, like I said, this dude just blew my doors off. Like, wow.
Yeah.
It's always a black SUV too. And anyway, just surprised to see that one. Like, slow down there, buddy.
Yeah,
Must
no
have been
kidding.
must have been an emergency.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is it worth maybe having rushing to an emergency if there's people already? I don't know. I mean, I guess we can argue all day about what if, what if, what if.
I was just surprised on the protocol.
I see. I thought they kind of changed that after that chick got hit, man. Because I mean, hey, she was a young mother and everything. That was a big deal in Decatur for a while.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Evan, we do got some weird news of the world. An ex-Harvard Medical School morgue manager admits his role in the theft of human remains.
Oh no, not more black market for toes.
You know it, Evan. Sacramento, Scranton, Pennsylvania, home of the office. No, I don't want to subscribe. He pleaded guilty Wednesday in Pennsylvania to interstate transport of stolen human remains. He could face up to 10 years in prison. Him and his wife and others were a part of a nationwide network of people who bought and sold human remains stolen from Harvard and a mortuary in Arkansas.
Like what remains? Are we talking organs? Or are we talking body limbs?
I'm glad you asked. Including with what they got busted with, Evan, 24 hands, 2 feet, 9 spines, portions of skulls, 5 dissected human faces, and 2 dissected heads.
Man, I can't imagine the black market for this. That people are buying these. I guess.
Yeah, I think they need to go and find those people that are buying that shit like that, because that's like if you want to collect stuff like that, that's kind of like serial killer shit.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Too
Yes,
too weird.
it's disturbing. It really is.
Uh,
That's a weird thing to collect. Can't you just get on Matchbox cars or
something.
antique dishes? I mean, come on.
Do something. Evan,
Oh boy.
our friends in Norway brought us this one. A homeowner wakes up to find 440-foot ship ran aground on his front doorstep.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
He said when they asked him how he felt about this, he's like, it's like a very bulky new neighbor just moved in.
Yeah. So they're gonna come tugboat that thing back out or what?
I think they're going to have to, Evan.
That's pretty cool. It just ran aground. Big ship in your backyard. It's kind of like that movie, whatever. What was it? The Obama produced movie that came out a year or so ago on Netflix.
Oh,
I
I
know
don't.
the world is falling apart kind of thing. I don't know. It was one of those doomsday movies where the ship went, everything went haywire and the ship went on the ground. I guess you didn't see that one.
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
You're for the better.
Yeah, I'm not a big TV guy, so Evan,
Yeah.
I do got. Hold on, I can throw this up real quick, and you can see where this dude's house was. It's, if you see the orange rudder when it pops up, it is right there. It might take a
Mm,
second. But yeah,
nice.
so yeah, he said he slept right through it, Evan.
Of course.
We got to skip this story because this is actually our buddy Dave. Uh, on Bozo Criminal of the Day. This is that one. Woman bitten by Australian Shepherd refused $4,000 because, according to her, every dog is entitled to one bite.
I don't care. I'll take the money.
Man! Hey, if you got a dog and you wanted to bite somebody, me and Chili are available. I think that's going to be it on the news. But, Evan, this story was kind of funny when I read it. I was like, what? And, oh, what did I do with it? Right there. Bozo Criminal for today comes from Costa Rica, where guards spotted something suspicious just outside the walls of the penitentiary there. Further investigation determined that it was a would-be drug smuggler, Evan, wearing a makeshift backpack, attempting to scale the barbed wire fence to get inside the prison.
What?
Yes, quick actions by the guards resulted in the smuggler being captured and 236 grams of marijuana and 68 grams of heroin confiscated. The
That's the most hardcore drug dealer ever.
this Evan, yeah, this is going to shock you. The suspect offered up little resistance and was taken to the vet for further examination.
Ah.
Yeah, our bozo drug mule, Evan, was a cat.
With a backpack?
With the contraband strapped to his back, authorities say it seems the inmates were trying to lure the smuggler into the facility with food.
That's brilliant.
Genius!
Use a cat as a mule.
Oh my God, that was
I,
hilarious.
I've never heard of that being done, using a cat. That's a good one.
Well, they were using birds for a while.
Sure.
And then drones. I remember the drone thing not long
Oh,
ago.
I could see that big time. Yeah, the guards got to watch for that. Oh man, speaking of drones, I saw the other day that some girl was on a beach, went too far out, was drowning, and they took a drone and flew a floaty out to her.
Oh, no shit.
Technology, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing right there.
It's brilliant.
Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there are a couple lists that I wanted to get to. There was one that was hilarious, and I gotta find it real quick because I think you'll laugh at it. I wanted to do that one too to see how many of these we did as kids because me and you, we were kids in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get to that one too. That's a fun one. Damn, did I close that? Yes.
Oh, Alan.
I know. Here's 17 things 70 parents let kids do that wouldn't fly today. Walking home from school alone. Yeah, I mean, I remember doing that several times.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Walking alone, yeah. These days, no.
Riding bikes alone and without helmets. Yeah, nobody wore a helmet unless you were like the special kid or something.
No, they didn't exist back then. I don't recall helmets at all.
You know what I always wondered though, on bikes, why did they uh why couldn't they give the chicks the the bikes with the bars across and the dudes the one that dipped down? Cuz you know how many times I racked my nuts on that damn bar? I'm surprised
I
I was able to have kids.
always wondered that as a kid too. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is completely backward, you know. And really, it comes from I guess back in the day when women wore skirts and everything, they couldn't, you know, so they put their leg through instead of swinging it over.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's what it's from, but and it
I
carried through to
bet
these
you're
days. But
right.
it's absolutely backward. And I just thought, okay, it's a strength thing because you know you when you triangulate your frame, you know, boys are rough on shit. So, you know, you triangulate that frame, you have strength where you have those two bars going down. You don't have that kind of, you know, strength. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I could, that's all I could figure as a kid. But yeah, that is an interesting one.
Staying home alone after school. Latchkey kids. Yeah, I was a latchkey kid.
Mm, no, I wasn't. But yeah, that was common. Yeah.
Having sleepovers with minimal parental contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were usually told, okay, here, we're going to hook the VCR up in your room, shut your door, and no screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, I did do this one. Babysitting younger siblings at the age of 10 or younger.
I was the youngest, but I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
My sister getting left with me, and neither of us really were
Playing
left alone.
outside until the street lights came on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always. And especially in the summer. And if you're, luckily, like everybody in our neighborhood, all the kids and all the parents kind of got along. So they would sit out on the porch with all their porch lights on. And we could play a game of, night wiffle ball or, whatever we wanted to do. I had a
I
pretty,
can't believe. Go ahead.
I was like, I had quite a bit of fun growing up as a kid.
Oh, I did too. I can't believe how much we played outside in the snow.
Oh, dude.
Like I had snow, you know, snow suits and all that stuff, and we'd be out for hours and hours in cold weather, and it
Yeah.
was
Dude,
yeah.
I made so much money when I woke up and I looked out and I knew they called off school or whatever. I grabbed my grandma's shovel and I was gone. I was gone all day. And me and my brother, I mean, yeah, we were kind of money driven.
Yeah, I had my own driveway to deal with. My parents had a big driveway, so and then I got to go sledding. And there, behind my parents' house, there was a field with a big hill, so I had a nice little sledding hill in my backyard almost. So that was cool.
Trick or treating without adults. Yeah, we did that nonstop.
Oh yeah, we were all over the place. Hmm.
Um, I tell you what, I remember one year we went and it was warm. I remember that it was really warm that Halloween. And we had so much candy. We had it in like the black garbage bags. Cuz
Yeah.
we walked all that. We ended up in you'll be familiar with this, Evan, but over there by the old Roosevelt Middle School, we walked all them neighborhoods all the way to Maple Court.
Hmm.
We didn't mess
Okay.
around. And Maple Court, that's where back then. That's where if you had to have a little bit of money to live in Maple Court.
Hmm.
Uh, what is this? 70. Oh, 70. 17 things 70s parents let kids do that wouldn't fly today, using the stove or oven to cook meals.
They don't let kids do that these days.
Yeah. No, they probably have them use a microwave. I could kind of see that. You don't want the kid boiling water and
Gotta
taking
learn sometime.
yeah, taking public transportation alone. Yeah, don't do that.
I've heard of people put their kids on, planes and things. I can't imagine sending a kid anywhere alone these days. That's scary.
On a
But yeah,
subway.
kids used to. Well, I mean, think about like, well, my grandfather came over from, Europe on a boat. He came over from Greece on a boat by himself. Like, how scary could that be?
Yeah. Swimming
14 years old.
swimming unsupervised. Yeah, it depends on how old. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up in a creek though, so it was like I think
Hmm.
my mom made sure we all could swim at an early age. I think she kind of feared one of her kids drowning.
It's a good skill to have.
Climbing,
Everyone should know how to swim.
yeah, you never know. Climbing tall trees or on rooftops. Yeah, I still do that. It was
Yeah.
I remember when I was over at my buddy's. I know I sent you the message or the video of me jumping off the roof into their swimming pool. That popped up in my Facebook memories the other day. I was like, wow. It was like May when I did that shit. What an idiot.
Yeah, it could have been cold. Very
Yeah,
cold.
that was just a few years ago. Climbing, I just did that one. Taking care of pets entirely on their own. What's that mean?
Kids having their own pets and being not having the parents have to maintain them. The kids actually taking care of them themselves.
Yeah, that has never happened in the history of life.
Kids always want it. The parents end up having to deal with everything.
I remember my ex called me one time and was crying because of my daughter had like a hamster or something. And I went and replaced that hamster, and I don't think she's ever known. It's a stupid hamster. Uh,
Hmm.
Using lawn equipment. Well, that's something. Shit. Get that 6-year-old out there push mowing. Fuck that. That's what's wrong with these dudes out here nowadays. Scared to get their hands calloused and shit.
Or their feet cut off. Yeah. Get in there and get dirty, kid. Push that mower.
The next one, using power tools. No, I want my 4-year-old in there remodeling the bathroom.
Using drills. Yeah, and saws. That's what you need is a kid with a saw, a
Oh my,
sawzall.
Evan, the picture they used is a kid using a craftsman drill on the floor.
I could see it.
Playing in abandoned buildings or construction sites. What a ball that used to be.
Yep.
We went into the old Adolph Myers, and then what was the other? Was that wasn't Adolph Myers, was it? By Memorial. There was
No,
like
that was out on Mound Road.
okay, we went on that in that one too. But what was the one that was by Memorial Hospital? Oh my gosh. I can't remember, but it was a huge brick building, and man, that place was freaky.
Hmm.
We ran out of there, and we didn't want to go back.
Really?
I don't know anybody that's really did this. 70s parents. I don't know any parents that let any of my friends do this. Hitchhiking. No,
Mm.
by then Ted Bundy was already, No, man, that's when Ted Bundy was getting caught
Yeah.
and shit, wasn't it?
I remember some hitchhiking in the 70s, but we never ever picked up anybody. But I remember occasionally seeing that. And then by the end of the 70s, I think they made it illegal.
Yeah.
Because by the 80s, that was like a thing of the past. It was like, oh shoot, this person's hitchhiking. That's against the law. I think that's kind of neat that people used to do that, hitch rides across country. And nowadays, yeah, good luck.
17, riding bikes to other towns. Now, I
Oh,
actually used to do this because me and my brother, we got the same mom, different dads. And he went to live with his dad, and they lived in Mount Zion, which it's not far from Decatur, but when you're on a bike, it's fucking far from Decatur.
yeah, it's a distance.
Yeah. So that was horrible. So there's that one. Yeah, you can't. And somebody said the other day, well, times have changed. I don't know. Hasn't have they changed all that much? I mean, yeah, we got some stupid ass people, but we've always had stupid ass people. I think
That
now that you hear about them more.
Yeah, we act like stupid people didn't exist in the past, and it's
Psst.
obvious they did. I mean, people just weren't educated. Um, yeah.
Evan, I thought this one would be fun. And then we'll have you sing along 10 songs everyone thinks they know the lyrics to, but don't. And
You don't want me to sing along.
the first one, Evan, let's hear your best Bohemian Rhapsody.
I see the little silhouette of a man.
There you go.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Can you do the fandango? Man, that song is. It's crazy that song got what is it, like 9 minutes that got airplay. It did in the
Yeah.
'70s. That wouldn't fly these days.
Uh, the line, goddamn, Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me is famously misquoted, with many forgetting the repeated desperate for me, for me, for me at the end. Well, that sounds
Yeah.
stupid. You just didn't do the for me. Uh, Number two on the list of 10 songs everybody thinks they know the lyrics to, but don't. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
The girl with colitis goes by. Uh,
Oh, you got it, Evan. The real lyric is The Girl with Kaleidoscope Eyes.
is that what is girl with kaleidoscope eyes? That's
Yeah.
right.
The confusion happens because kaleidoscope is a word that doesn't pop up in casual conversation, while kaleidos is. There
That's
you
funny.
go. No, that was amazing. You got that. Uh, Number three on the list, Purple Haze.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
It's so notorious, it's practically part of music history. The real lyric is, excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Yeah.
Hendri-
Yep,
it says Hendrix relaxed slurred delivery makes Sky sound suspiciously like Guy.
it does.
Well, and the note he hits with the guitar riff also.
Yeah. We should have sobered up for that track just a little, Jimmy.
Evans,
Um,
one of Evan's top five favorite songs, he admitted a few weeks ago, ABBA Dancing Queen.
oh, sure. Who doesn't love Dancing Queen?
Yeah. Who hasn't danced around the Dancing Queen? Maybe shouting, feel the beat from the tangerine. The actual lyric is, feel the beat from my tambourine.
I don't recall that one. That's good. Huh.
It says, tangerine fits the rhythm, let's face it.
Hmm.
So it's something with the beat at the time. So Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. It doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not.
I can see that one. It doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not. We
Uh,
got each other, and that's a lot for love. Yeah, it works.
yeah, it doesn't.
It completely works.
The real line is it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. Well, you know what? And I'm going to argue with that song because it kind of fucking does.
You're right. It does. That's a good call.
10 songs everybody thought they knew the lyrics to, but don't. Next on the list, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics.
I'm going through it in my head, trying to
Sweet
find
Dreams Are Made of Cheese.
made of cheese. I can see that. Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Yeah, it goes.
Sweet Dreams Are Made of These is the original lyric, Evan.
I like it.
I have never thought that, though, when I heard that song that the Eurythmics had a dairy thing going on, you know?
No, it's going to be in your head from now on, though.
Oh, wow.
When you hear the Marilyn Manson version.
I knew this one would be on here. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of mistaken stuff.
Yeah, Here We Are Now in Containers. Oh, my goodness.
It's a good one.
The real lyric is, Here we are now, entertain us.
Yeah, entertain us.
Oh, man. I see Elton John coming up. Next on the list of 10 songs you thought you knew the lyrics to, but don't. The Police, Every Breath You Take. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you is commonly thought as a romantic line.
Mm-hmm.
But Sting actually wrote it about obsession and surveillance. Yeah, I never thought.
Yeah, that sucks. That's kind of creepy.
It says the lyrics are usually sung correctly, but they're almost always misunderstood. Yeah, you don't want to send that to a girl that you're just talking to.
Yeah, true.
Oh
Yeah,
my God!
That's stalkerish. Yeah.
Now this one, I have been accused of doing this, but I know it's not the lyric. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
It works. It works.
Tiny Dancer. I do love that song. That is a great song.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's one of his better ones.
Kenny Rogers, Lucille. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille, with 400 children and a crop in the field. The real line is 4 hungry children.
I always said it 400 children and a crops in the field. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, no wonder why Lucille left. You wouldn't leave her the fuck alone, Kenny.
That one, that's in the last year. I think I discovered what the real lyrics were. I looked them up, or we were talking about it. That song played, and we discussed it because I'm like, 400 children.
Well, yeah, that's why.
It sounds like he says that.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, that is some funny shit.
You know what's funny is sometimes you think you hear a lyric and you're like, I know this isn't right. You say it over and you're like, no, this isn't right. And then you look it up and it is. My dad always liked At the Hop. It's this 50 song, Danny and the Juniors.
Oh
At the
yeah,
Hop,
yeah,
bum,
yeah.
bum. I always used to sing it in the when you calypso with a chicken at the hops, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. I looked it up. You know what he says?
What?
When you calypso with a chicken.
What the fuck's
I
that
couldn't
mean?
believe the dance like the calypso.
Uh-huh.
He's doing the calypso with a chicken. I always sung that, and I'm like, there's what is he really saying? Swear to God, he's saying calypso with a chicken. Couldn't believe it. I'm like, I actually had that one right. It's pretty funny.
Oh. Evan, I'm gonna hit a couple more of this list, and then I want to go through. We kind of been having some fun at the end of the show, and stick around if you haven't seen the end. We've been doing these questions of the night or of the day or whatever, and some of them have gotten pretty good, and I got a couple good ones tonight.
Okay.
But 21 misconceptions we grew up with that turned out to be totally wrong. I know some of these are going to piss me off. You only use 10% of your brain. I never thought that.
No, that's maybe on an average, but no, there's times when I think you're thinking as hard as you can think.
Yeah. Now,
And you can't be 100% all the time. You burn yourself out.
well, and I do know some people that do go under that 10% threshold.
Yes, there's exceptions. Absolutely.
If you touch a frog or toad, you will get warts.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Never made sense. Or if they peed on your hand, you get warts.
Yeah, they didn't tell you about them skanky hookers.
Yeah,
Those are the ones you got to worry about the warts.
that's true. I mean, so they say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have warts. Trust me.
Mhm.
Bats are blind. I never thought that because if you see a bat's eye, almost looks like they got some night vision shit built in.
Yeah, they see during the day, but they see exceptionally well at night. Like I think there's some other animals like that. It's not snakes. People say like snakes are blind. Snakes don't see as well either, but they see well at night. Raccoons. I don't know.
Hair grows back thicker after shaving. That is a misconception, ladies. You can shave them mustaches.
and not have to worry about it getting even thicker.
I thought this was
Yeah.
true. The Great Wall of China is visible from space.
I don't think that's really true.
No, it's not.
And I even tried to look it up just on like Google Maps, doing the satellite view, and it shows the line of where it is, but it's really not visible from space. No, I mean it's long. I mean it's 3 times longer than the United States. It's a distance, but you're not going to see it.
See, I thought this one was true. Your blood is blue inside your body.
Yeah, supposedly till it gets oxygenated, it's blue or something, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah. No, it's false, Evan. You can catch a cold from going out with wet hair. Oh my God, my grandma used to scream at me for that.
Yeah.
Me and her's gonna have a talk next time I go visit her grave.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma? Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
It can.
Yeah. I've been struck by lightning. Well, not me. But I was in a garbage truck that got struck by lightning.
That's pretty cool.
Dogs see in black and white.
No,
No,
they're. Yeah, I remember hearing that too. Yeah, they're colorblind. They're red-green colorblind, which is the same as I am. So they see.
Oh,
They see colors.
look at this one. Eating before swimming will make you cramp and drown. It has been debunked.
I think they worry about little kids like exercising and throwing up in the pool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that was one as a child.
Napoleon was comedically physically short, but he was in reality he was between 5'6" and 5'7".
Which was average back then.
Yeah, and well, still to this day, the European men aren't very really. I mean, there's some that are big, of course, but
Yeah, the whole Napoleon complex thing.
chewing gum takes 7 years to digest.
Oh yeah, I used to hear it rots in your stomach forever.
Yeah,
No, you're gonna pass it. You're gonna break it down and pass it.
yeah, you're gonna poop it. Your tongue has specific taste zones. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never bought that either.
It is weird that some things will kind of hit your tongue in different spots, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Number 14, chameleons change color to blend in with their surroundings. They don't.
They don't. They do it for fun.
But they actually do it to stand out and send a warning signal to other chameleons of potential danger. It's
Whoa.
mainly a source of communication, not camouflage.
No kidding.
Well,
That's cool.
for now, they always change that. Humans only have 5 senses.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we got the ability to sense pain. We can sense the movement of our limbs and balance.
No.
I
I mean, never mind.
Toilets flush in different directions and different hemispheres. Well, thank God, because I was getting ready just to fly down south of the equator.
No, I think it's the way the toilets are built, the way they flush in that direction. Yeah, I don't think they automatically flush the other direction on the other side of the equator. But like it like water going down your drain, it will. But I don't think toilets so much.
So wait a minute. Do you have do both of your toilets spin the same way when you flush them?
I don't know. Never paid attention.
I know. Now I'm going to. And then I want video of yours, and I'll send you videos of mine.
But supposedly, like, your water going down the drain in your shower will spin the other direction on the other side of the equator. I don't know. If that's wrong, maybe that is part of that myth. I don't know.
Huh.
I just thought it was more the design of the toilet, but maybe not.
I've never heard this one. Goldfish have a 3-second memory.
Yeah.
How the fuck they know?
Oh, what's even funnier is we've already talked about it on the show. Let's talk about short memory.
Yeah, no, I know. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
There you go.
Yeah. And touching, yeah, this was on part of the list. Because those last two were. All right. Yeah, your body heats up faster without a hat. False. You lose your heat from your head.
Use a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's why if you ever see them football players, and especially if they're ball-headed, and you're watching it snow or something, you'll see the steam and shit come off their head.
Yeah, MMA fighters, between rounds, they're icing their heads down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Evan, I want to, real quick, we're going to run through this one, make sure I don't say any of these things. 16 things people who are poorly educated will often say. Dude, bro, I don't read books.
Well, yeah. Said it all right there.
Yeah. Why should I care about that? Yeah, I hate that. If somebody says that to me, I automatically quit talking to them.
Especially if it's something major, like, hey, the World Trade Centers were just taken down by, oh, well, it's not my concern.
Well,
I don't have anything to do with that.
This one, science is just opinions. Look, God, look, I can go both ways on that
Yeah,
because,
that's a tough one.
yeah, because look, we're finding out that some of the scientists, you know, look, scientists they get their grants from the government.
Yeah, they
You know,
get paid too much money to make a decision sometimes,
yeah, and
and they know where that money's coming from.
yeah, yeah, and if you say something that well, certain people don't want you to say, even if it's true, well, then
Yeah.
this one, if it
You're,
ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I hate that saying because I don't believe that because even if it's running, it can be improved.
there's such a thing as preventive maintenance, yeah, but hmm I get where you're coming from. Sometimes I've been better off to leave things alone.
Ooh, you can tell this person probably works in the media. The news is all lies. Look, man, y'all, the mainstream media is taking a major hit right now. But I'm sorry, it's deserved. You have
It
said so much shit that we know isn't happening and that didn't happen the way you said it did. And, you want us to perceive the world in a way that it's not right now. And it's like,
yeah
ugh. And you keep doing it. So,
it
yeah,
yeah it, scripted bullshit is what it is.
well, there's no more journalists.
No.
If you look at all these people on these news shows, most of them worked in, had something to do with, you know, working in a president's cabinet or something like that, or, had something to do in politics.
Man, you ever look up Anderson Cooper on Wikipedia?
No, he's a tool.
Yeah, okay, but here's an example. This dude is he's a big anchor on CNN. He's a Vanderbilt. His mother was Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilts are one of the wealthiest families in the United States. If you ever go down to North Carolina, Asheville, the Biltmore Estate, this huge mansion was like the biggest family home in this country for like 100 years. It's a Vanderbilt, George
Mm,
Washington Vanderbilt. It's his, and it even says in there that in college he worked for the CIA and and part of Operation Mockingbird and things like that. I mean, Wikipedia, which is CIA right there tells you that this dude is an asset, or
yeah,
at least he was at one time, but he's not now. Wink, wink.
yeah.
I mean, it's just the major news stations. It's just
It,
they're actors. It's all scripted bullshit, and they're to get spin this right, spin this left, get everybody to argue over this topic, whatever, and it's scripted BS. It's horrible.
yeah. Why they rob you blind, both sides. Being a United States congressman or congresswoman or to have any job in the government right now is one of the best jobs in the United States, and it shouldn't be that way.
Well, they make the money, but they're so compromised. You do exactly what you're told, or
Mm-hmm.
oh look, there's you know kiddo porn on your laptop. We're gonna burn you. So it's like
Yeah.
they do what they're told.
The next one on the list of 16 things poorly poorly educated people will say, I don't need math in real life. Yeah, you kind of do, dumbass.
You really do. You really need to understand. And we don't need complex algebra and trigonometry and all that crap most of the time. Rarely does a person need something like that, but you need to have some math skills.
Now, this
I
one
mean,
right.
people can't hold on. People can't count change these days. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like it's really gotten bad at times.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now this one, listen, I think this is for different people. I'm a blue collar guy. Always have been. Always, I that's what I always wanted. Um, This one is college is a waste of time. And it would have been for me because I sucked at school. But one thing I was good at was learning on a job and then getting good at that job.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never had an issue working, anything like that, or making money. Now, some people, college has worked out fine for them. But I think you should pay for your own college.
Yeah, it's not everything. It's too bad we put such an emphasis on it for so long. The employers that, oh, we'll only hire degreed people. That's not fair. I mean, there's a reason you get it, but it doesn't mean everything. It's way too expensive these days. I can't believe the cost.
Yeah. These are things people who are poorly educated will often say, I already know everything I need to know. I think I had an uncle that said that.
Don't try to learn me nothing.
This one, that's just how it's always been.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I've worked
I
with
do
people
too.
like that. Well, we can change this. Let's do something different.
Oh, it's always been this way.
Uh-huh.
I don't trust experts. Now, listen. Here's what I want to know. Just tell me how they're experts. Because I can go in somewhere, Evan, and say, hey, I'm an expert at this. And usually, if I do, not too many people are going to question me. They're going to automatically believe me that I'm an expert.
If they say, like, if you study something every day for like 10 years, you're automatically an expert. I've been studying cars for the last 20, 30, 40 years. I wouldn't consider myself an expert, especially, and I couldn't give advice to the expert because of the fact that I've never really worked on it. I mean, I've never been a mechanic, I've worked on them on my own, but yeah. Who is really an expert? Who really knows everything? There's very few. That term was almost something that doesn't exist in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I guess in some fields there are people they're the masters, and
yeah. I like this one. See, I'm telling you, dude, this is 16 things that people that are poorly educated will often say. All politicians are crooks. Not all of them, but there's a lot of crooks in Washington.
Yeah, most of them they're paid whores. Yeah,
I'm too old, and I have never said this. I'm too old to learn new things.
Never too old.
No. Yeah, in fact, I think that's what kind of keeps me a little spunky and shit. Because, look, I know some dudes that are my age that are in some rough shape. And, honestly, I feel like I'm in my 30s, 40s.
Good. It's a good feeling. I used to. Till 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was climbing on top of equipment, doing all kinds of stuff like a kid. And, I loved it.
Evan, let's go ahead and do a couple of these. I'm interested in this one. And then because I got one. What's the most memorable, good or bad, date you have ever been on? So I'll go ahead and tell mine real quick. I was maybe 15. Dude, I had the biggest crush on this chick. I went and I was like, she's a couple years older than me. I asked her out. She said, yeah. We go to this party, and the chick just like fucking acted like I wasn't even there. I was so fucking like bummed out. I looked at my buddy Sam. I was like, dude, we we can split. There was some other dude there. She was just hanging all over and everything. So I went up and I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to split with Sam and everything. She goes, oh, okay. And I just turned around and walked away. And she came running out to a car and everything. And then she goes, well, my mom's not home. She goes, just drop us off here, and Sam got us some beers and everything. Well, I ended up getting lucky that night. But then, like, when I got up in the morning, she told me that that dude she was hanging all over with at that party was, like, her boyfriend. And that, like, she was like, well, I really, I had fun, but that was it. I was like, man, ain't that fucking sucks. I mean, yeah, I got lucky,
She used you.
yeah, she got some wiener. But yeah, so that's mine. So I mean, it was a bad first date. It was a horrible first date. It ended up good, and then went right back to bad. So that was like the most roller coaster night that I ever remember having emotionally. Because I really dug this chick, man. I mean, I'm super into her. Like, I'd never been into a chick like this before. Dirty whore.
Man, I am sitting here trying to think, and like I'm trying to think worst date or best date, and I can't. I mean, I'm trying to think if any of that were stellar that I could talk about. Like
Yeah, I mean,
like
we
there's a reason that some of them I'd say that was my best date.
yeah, but you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, well, yeah, and because basically, reason you described, I mean, but um, I had one that kind of almost got psycho on me, not psycho, but stalkerish. It was the date was boring, and it was one of those things like, oh my gosh, it was we weren't set up. It was like, but we really didn't know each other, and the date was really boring. But it ended up, turning out well. But after that, the girl turned into kind of a stalker. And the next day when I took her home, it was instantly like, what are you doing tonight? Can we go out tonight? And all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I got plans, with a friend. Who's your friend? Where you going? And I was like,
Oh
whoa. And then
no.
it was crazy red flag. And so then, she kept bugging me. And then a couple nights later, she's like, well, come over, have some pizza. And I went over to her house. I ended up leaving my watch at her house. And
Oh no.
and so like I didn't want to date her anymore, but this kind of kept going, and she wouldn't give this watch back. I kept and she's like, well, I've got your watch, and I was like, my dad gave me that watch from it was birthday or Christmas, I want my watch back.
Bitch, I
She's
want
like,
that
well,
Mickey Mouse watch back.
but she says, well, I had something done to it, and then I tried to change it. I tried to put a D on it, and I'm like, what is she talking about? So, and because we had another date after that, and she still wouldn't give me my watch back, and I'm just like, this girl's just, I want to be done with this. So anyway, after the day after work, she's like, fine, I'll bring it over. So she came to my house and knocked on the door. So she hands me my watch, and she's like, here, and handed me a watch and walked off. And I look at it, and she had engraved on it, I love you. But she scratched a D into it, as in, I loved you.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, you're lucky. That's like that Play Misty for me, bitch.
And she left, and I went out and I pulled my cars in the garage. I'm like, I hope she's not coming back. Anyway, yeah, it was one of those things like the date wasn't that bad, but it was just everything after that was just like, oh, it was a week and a half of just like, oh, I need to shake this headache, That was a pretty funny one.
Oh man. Yes.
I love you, and then I tried to change it to I loved you.
Oh
Good Lord.
man. And then I thought if you could create a holiday, what would you celebrate, and what would the traditions be? Dude, so many things popped into my head, but I'm gonna go for the clean one, and I'd do a fishing day where you got paid to just take. You can go into work and be like, you know what, it's my fishing holiday, and just go into the boss, say, hey, I'm going fucking fishing, and you get paid. I think
That'd
you
be
should.
awesome.
Yeah, I think you should have one of those in the spring with bass spawn, and then one in the fall with bass spawn. So that would be my holiday.
I'd have a national muscle car day or antique car day
There,
where everybody drive your antique cars and everybody else has to like get the fuck out of our way. And the police are told to look the other way if we do burnouts at every intersection. I think that would be like just like automotive mayhem day. If you don't like it, stay off
yeah,
the streets,
yeah.
you know.
You can't have anything that was made in this century, in the 2000s, cannot be
There
on
you
the
go.
road.
Yeah, antique car day, you know, get them out, enjoy it, show everybody. If we got all these siblings day and this day and grandpa's day and everything else, let's have antique car day.
Now
That'd be
my
fun.
my first one was going to be motor boating day and put up boob flags, and but I was like, no, I'm gonna behave.
I was thinking 420, but I'm like, that's kind of already in the
Yeah,
bag,
that's
to
it.
be honest.
Yeah, that's they're doing festivals and everything. Which, look, they busted so many people at that 420 festival in Lincoln. These dumb some bitches. This stuff, if you live in a state that has legalized marijuana for uh, for adult use, do not smoke that shit in your car. Because look, we get these cars into the shop, and if I can smell it when it pulls in, a cop can smell it. And that gives them every reason to fuck with you.
Mm,
It'd be just like if I got pulled over and I smelled like beer,
yeah,
you know? So don't smoke that shit in your car. Stop it.
it's yeah, it's good advice.
Man. Oh shit, Evan, we went way over.
Yeah, it's 7 after.
All right. Anyway, tell them bye, Evan.
Oh, okay, people. I was sorry we kept you so long. Let's make this quick. Hope to see you next Monday, and have a good week. We're out of here.
Yeah, short week, so you'll see us one day earlier. So, hey, thank you guys. We love you. Peace. Remember, if you like the show, share it. Let your friends know. What we're a little raunchy at times. Tonight, maybe, don't let grandma listen to this one, but, uh, we're not too bad. So, we love you. Peace. Be good to one another, and we'll catch you next show, 164. It's Al from D-Town. That's my homie, Chili442. Peace.
Later.